Bronson Moreau. He's coming off a split episode, which started off really good against the Cowboys. 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. The goal line versus goal line. As they bring the pressure, I said that strangely. The ball came out just as strangely, but it finds the rookie tight end. Definitely has not been the case. Though this time we get Smith and Jigba. That's a nice strike right down the middle. He gets by the diving defender. This might be and will be a lead before half. So let's see if we can find a touchdown then. Lockett. Open. Threaded it to him on a line. Tyler Lockett extends our lead. However, in the second game of last episode against a rival in the Rams, things did not go as cleanly. It was 2 turnovers, only 1 touchdown, and an L. As we come out for our second possession, as once again Aaron Donald forces the fumble. It is scooped up. Moreau will at least slow him down. Go a little bit of some play action. As the switch does not happen, I don't think Moreau saw the corner out there. As the safety does come down, it's thrown. DK crosses the goal line. We find the touchdown under pressure. Moreau comes through. So as we get stuck in today, first off, we have to fix a glaring mistake here with Bronson Moreau. Something that, I don't know, maybe has affected the play we've seen on the field. And that comes down to his number. Now, obviously, Bronson Moreau, he's been wearing 12, and obviously he's been playing for the Seattle Seahawks. That was a number that we chose pre-draft, and honestly, it completely went over my head until I've had people over on TikTok reach out and be like, hey, why are you wearing 12 with the Seahawks? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That number has been essentially retired since the 80s, I believe. Only one person has ever worn it for the Seahawks. I guess they let Bronson try it out, and he hasn't done enough. So we are changing Bronson Moreau's number, giving the 12 back to the fans. We'll be switching to number 10. Now that does mean Moreau has had to dish out a lot of cash to essentially buy all of those 12 jerseys to then have them print the new number 10. So he's taking a hit there, but that's what we have to do when we make that mistake. So let's make sure we don't make any more. Game plan today is to get through 3 games. First off, we've got the Jets. We're about a half a game up in the division, so we really could use some wins. But first off, as usual, we've got to flip a coin here to figure out what the difficulty is going to be. So as I get that all set up here, what are we going to have first? Again, heads is for all pro, tails is for all Madden. So for the first flip, we will have all Madden against the Jets. Now, I don't remember who we have in the following couple games, as the bye is after the Jets. But for the second game, we will stick with all Madden. Are we going to have a completely all Madden episode today? Or will we have all pro? It will be all pro in the third one. Now, hopefully all pro actually helps us out this time. Now that is everything done and fixed up, and we are ready to jump in. So all Madden as we head to New York. Kind of New Jersey. Now as we get underway here, we are already down 7-0. Rodgers drove down the field to start off the Jets' day. We need to make sure we do the same, as Moreau will get clobbered by a not-so-fun part of an opponent. But at least it goes as a gain of 7. So 2nd and 3, we'll change up the look then. Going under center, we hand this one off. Walker, he's got space, though does not even manage the first down. Run game continues to be a little bit weird here. All Madden, never quite know, but hopefully with the number change, the offensive line feels like Moreau is respecting the team, as we can't even pick up the inches on 4th. So the offensive line does not pan out first go. And ultimately, that leads to us even more in the hole. 14-0 as we get to our second possession. Gonna start a little bit of a play action roll. As we got our guy coming across, we find that is Fant, who's gonna pick up about a gain of 20, up to the 44. Now we talked a little bit about how the games went last episode, and while we did split them, there was one glaring issue. And that was the accuracy that we had in our quarterback in Moreau. Now we do have to shuffle around the pocket. We find Walker. He breaks one. We pick up 15. Definitely a focus in this one is needing to see that accuracy a lot more tighter, a little bit more consistent as we stick with the heavier sets here. Actually going to roll as DK, he's downfield, it's lofted up, just the kind of throw we need to find our tall receiver down to the 6. Now, let's just finish it off then. 1st and goal. We come out with shotgun now. 2 spread to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. Hard count, still can't get anyone to jump. And Quinton Williams is going to drop us. He didn't even rush immediately. Still got it. Well, obviously, you need blocking from your offensive line. A little bit of that still goes down to Moreau. He's got to see that well ahead of schedule and get on the move. Now we have Fant, and we should have had a touchdown there. It slipped through his hands. Not much different we could have done there with Moreau. It was the correct read. Now we have a bunch to the left-hand side, though most of these sitting underneath. We're going to make a change to that play then. Also going to have Walker delay his release just for a little bit more protection. As the pass rush shows up, we couldn't get it to anyone that was open. It will at least be a field goal drive, though we were really looking for a touchdown. But good news, defense finally picks up their first stop. So we're back out here just under 2 minutes with an opportunity to draw this thing closer. We have a good bit of our timeouts as we chug it downfield into quadruple coverage. It's a good thing that ball hits the turf. Honestly, I think Moreau just got a little too antsy there. Saw something that wasn't actually there. Bunch to the right-hand side, Metcalf to the left. Need to make sure we get down the field here. Avoid some pass rush, swing it out to Walker, who's not going to find the sidelines. Only picks up about a gain of 3. So we'll have to get back to the line quickly here. Gonna send that bunch to left-hand side as well as Walker. Stop route Smith and Jigba might be intriguing here, depending on where the linebackers sit, and they cover that. So Moreau will do it with his legs sliding down again. Takes an awkward hit. They're not really keeping him clean while sliding, that's for sure. We'll switch the bunch again, send it to the right-hand side. It's a tight box here. As we step up in the pocket, need to find a window. We find Fant behind him, but he could turn with it. That's a big gain as we're down to the 30. We'll call our first timeout. We still got 2. We've played a lot of this game sitting in the same formation. So let's start to rotate some things around a little bit. 2 high safeties off coverage. As it's 1v1, we look for Smith and Jigba, who gets the touchdown. Not necessarily the perfect throw from Bronson, but a great play from his receiver. As we get through halftime, that score would stick 14-10, an opportunity to take a lead here with a touchdown drive. We start Walker, who's going to go to that left-hand side and pick up 5. Unfortunately for him, those 5 yards is all he has on the ground today. 3 carries, hasn't had a lot of opportunity, but yeah, we just don't trust it that much. Lock it across the middle, drops it. Linebacker sat lurking, makes the play. So 3rd and 5, we go 2 spread either side. I don't really like that look. Can we change it up here? Let's get some slants then. Still gonna have 2 spread either side. Like that a lot more. Moreau, he's got an option to the left. This time we find Lockett. Big first down. Not huge, it's still big. That especially so when you count on the fact that we are still trailing here. Just shy of midfield, it's a heavy tight end set. Let's see if we could get them going to work as the ball pops free. Moreau fumbles, first turnover of the game. And with it, Jets would widen that lead. 21-10, now down by 11. Moreau's got to realize here, all Madden, if you're going to run, you got to make sure you really do have some space. As he finds DK, again, he keeps those up high for those underneath lurking DBs or linebackers. It's definitely one of the things he's had to learn early in his career is they will make the play. Now, I'm going to make a change here to this play. I want Fant going on a curl to try to suck down that safety. Leave Smith and Jigba a little bit more free on the outside. Well, it kind of worked. Placement not tight enough, but it did at least hold him for that second longer. 2nd and 10. We got a bunch to the right-hand side, Fant to the left side. They really haven't shaken up their defensive calls much. Moreau, he slips a tackle, needs to pick up some blocks, and he kind of does. He gets 1.5. But that does, however, leave a 3rd and 2. Now we need to make sure we get a good double to backer here. Place a double team on that left-hand side, as it is a good double backer, and we are very close just picking up that first down. There was not much room to spare. Now can we make a quick play off of it? We'll have to make some slight adjustments here. And we'll go with a little play action roll. A little bump downfield. We still find our tight end. That's good news, Will Dissly. We've had plenty of those bump coverages very much go against us in the past, so always nice when they go a little bit for you, just not completely against you. Lofted up, Smith-Njigba gets to it. Not able to get him fully on the run there, but it's a nice game. And definitely trying to mix in a little bit more rushing as well. So we'll get back to Walker here. Decent blocks, but the linebacker goes unblocked. Keeps it to a 1-yard gain. We'll try to go quickly off of it then. A little bit of some quarter stops. That's an interesting route. Not sure if it's really going to get anyone open, and through a double team. Ioannidis with his essentially second sack. Considering that we know him pretty well from the Marylavania States Only Challenge, I know he's not going to cause that much havoc. But he's been doing that here for us. DK jump ball makes it 4th and 4. We're going to have to settle for yet another field goal, which should bring it to about a touchdown game. Or even better, the special teams would go for it and they pick it up. So 1st and goal here. Smith-Njigba going to leak underneath the slants. That's where we will go, and he will find the end zone. Barely getting across that goal line. Reed nearly got the stop. But now we can make it a field goal game with a 2-point conversion. Bunch to the right-hand side. Fant stays to the left. Hard count, no one jumps early. As we move, the ball's thrown too far to the inside. It was good movement. It opened up the window. Just the accuracy wasn't quite there. Would have preferred Lockett move his feet. It will stay a touchdown game. Or in fact, make it now a 12-point game as the defense couldn't get the stop. We need a quick touchdown drive here as we do not have much time left. We do have DK sitting in the middle though. We find him. Took a little bit more time off the clock there than preferred, but the result was pretty good. You're just going to have to run hurry up essentially here on out. We do have some timeouts in our pocket as well. Open receiver passes behind. Definitely that's on Moreau, but again, similar to the last play, you kind of hope that your receiver makes an adjustment on the pass. Not really one seen there. Also need to make sure we have some decent blocking, as we will find a little window, and for the 3rd time, and I feel like in 3 straight episodes, Moreau has thrown the ball just by the line. And if I'm being honest, these have been extremely close calls. Not even sure if the full body had actually been by the line of scrimmage when the throw's made, but it's the calls that we are being given. As Moreau will look to step up here, takes a big hit, makes it 4th and 8, though this time coach will let us go for it. So he picks up some pretty key yards here, but we still need more. DK on the stop, bullet throw. We're continuing on here as we're now under 4 minutes. Very close to running out of time here, especially since we need 2 touchdowns. Need something big to happen. As we roll, still no one quite getting open, but we'll find some space. Tiptoeing down the sideline, picking up a 1st down. We're down to the 23. Trying to conserve those timeouts for the defense, considering we all know how hit or miss they can be, and going up against Rodgers as well. Got 2 to the right-hand side to bring a little bit of a blitz. We will flow and end up running, and Moreau cuts back in. That's a touchdown run for Moreau. The vision of the quarterback to find the end zone. We did have an injury to our offensive lineman. Back to a touchdown game. We need a stop from our defense. So let's see if we could do it. They start with a gain of 11. They are already up 5. A field goal makes it a touchdown and 2-point tries. We have the 2-minute warning. They got a fresh set of downs. That's a replay because it does that every time you hit the 2-minute mark. Though that is new. Another gain of 8 for Hall. 1st down for them. They're definitely in field goal range. 7 goes Garrett Wilson, 2nd and 3. 7 more, another 1st down as we probably tick under a minute here. And kneels starting to happen from Aaron Rodgers. No time left. So really those couple mistakes we had in this game come back to bite us in a big way. 28-23. Moreau, he fought back through some adversity in that one. Offensive line did pretty decent considering who we were playing against, but overall, a loss is a loss. Now we return home for our next game, which is pretty big because that last loss, that just cost us top of the division. So we need to make sure we pick up a big win, and Any home field advantage we can get, all the better. It's a great throw to get us going. Miami Dolphins, they've got themselves a pretty good defense. Some guys to watch out for. Jalen Ramsey, plus they have a superstar over the top at safety. Definitely a couple really good guys. So we'll keep an eye just around the board here as we roll. We will find Walker, make sure we pick up at least something. Every play would be great. And on top of that, try to keep some variety in this offense. Deep, short, medium, run as well. Now, no one is on Smith and Jigba, but it didn't let me throw it. Either way, we're going to pick up the first down with Walker. We'll take that. He doesn't get too many attempts. Who knows? Maybe Madden helping me out there on a read. 1st and 10 then. As they keep everyone covering deep downfield. Might need to have a little bit more of the short passing game in this one, as Walker will give himself up. But again, he takes an awkward bit of contact. And given his baseball background, I would assume he would know how to slide, and that's not on him. But though, you never know. Maybe a cleat caught a blade of that grass. DK, nice cut. We're going to find him in some open space. Get us down to the 16, though Abraham Lucas is shaken up. If I'm not mistaken, that's our left tackle. At least good news off of that is there isn't an X-Factor superstar over there, but I'm pretty sure that is Jalen Phillips, who is a really solid player. So need to keep an eye over there. Walker, gain of 6, not too bad. Who knows, maybe against Miami we could actually have a little bit of a run game. Looks like maybe Emmanuel Ogbah playing on the inside. Definitely not a fantastic run stopper. As we come across, he tried to throw it out a bit too late. We take the sack from Chubb. That one definitely just goes back to Moreau. He should have got rid of it or tucked and ran. So 3rd and 12. Would love to find a touchdown here. At least stay in some form of range as we loft it too far. Looked good though for a second, but it will be a field goal. Now we definitely left some points on the board, but good news doesn't come back to bite us as we get to a later on possession here. 3-0 still. The start of the second quarter as we roll. Great job from the defense, and Kyrie Hall is injured. That is our second O-lineman out. If we could get back one of them, that'd be great. And as I say that, actually Lucas is in. He's now over at right tackle, so I guess he's had to sub back in from his former injury. See if we can find Fant, and we will. I don't know how Howard did knock that one away, but a great play as Moreau finds his tight end. Guess every now and then need to catch ourselves a little bit lucky. As we're into plus territory, we'll go Walker here. He's had a pretty good amount of rushing so far. One of his shorter rushes, 3 yards. Still triple his typical rush, so all good there. They do walk a safety down to the right-hand side, so we'll keep an eye over there. As they do bring him, we'll swing it out to Walker then, see what he could do in open space, and he could pick up about a yard. Maybe there was a better option. Either way, it's at least not a loss, though. 3rd and 6, 2 go to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. Hard count, still no one jumping for Moreau, though he'll end up tucking and running, picking up that first down, sliding down safely this time, which apparently is harder to do than you would expect. Trip send to the right-hand side. Metcalf stays to the left. See if we can find a deep pass here, just trying to keep this Dolphins defense spread out. As Moreau, he looks to run, not going to outrun the linebacker, but he does pick up 5. And I feel like we haven't actually ran the ball a little bit. We'll give it an option here. RPO, Smith and Jigba could also take the swing, and they immediately send the corner in, so we will swing it. And we will not pick up the first down. This time a defensive lineman injury. And we could all breathe a sigh of relief. It's not our 3rd offensive lineman out. So there's that. 3rd and inches, though. We need a first down here. Walker, he's going to pick it up. Not by a lot, but I'll take it. Considering how often we get those, which is not very often. A little bit of a play action off of it then, because we're sitting just outside the red zone. Disley coming across. He finds some space. We put it on him. Brought down about a yard shy of the goal line. And we're going to not do the typical Seattle thing and throwing it here. We're going to go with a toss. See if these receivers, tight end, can get a good seal on the outside. Walker gets dragged down from behind. Great pursuit there from Long Jr. It was definitely looking like it was going to be a touchdown. Apparently not. We got a read option then dialed up to follow. As we hand it off, Walker this time is in. Just had to hesitate that defense a little bit. We extend our lead 10-0. As we now jump through half, that score would not hold. Dolphins do get on the board before halftime, so 10-7 as we open up the third. Hard count again for Walker. Still not drawing anyone, but we can find DK on the quick stop. Going to be about a gain of 14 or so. Same amount of attempts that Moreau has passing today, though he's completed 10 of them. Not too bad. He's gotten a little bit lucky on some as well. As he gets away from the rush up front, we'll swing it out again. A short gain from Walker. So we're getting him a little bit more involved in this game through the pass, but he's still not breaking off much. A little bit of some play action, then use him in that aspect as we've got Lockett deep downfield, and it is overthrown. We've seen a good little bit of inaccuracy downfield, I'd say, and it's not like Moreau has awful deep ball accuracy. 87. Not the best, not the worst. As we find Fant this time, not Fant, just kidding, DK gets the first down. Every time I see him and Fant on those drags, confusing them a good bit. Let's go with Walker on the screen. Set up a couple blocks out in front. And it's from behind that he seems to typically get caught on those. So maybe try to hit it a little bit quicker as we get back to the ball pretty quickly here. Going to switch that bunch to the right-hand side. Going to have an RPO, and we will get this out to Lockett, though no blocking from the two receivers. They went downfield past the first guy to block. Why that's still a thing here in Madden, I couldn't tell you. But we could use a little bit of a double to backer here. That would be great. As Walker does get through his biggest rush of the day, bounces it even more down to the 14. We are back to the red zone. It's crazy how much smoother this offense feels when you actually can have a little bit of the run game and don't have to rely solely on Moreau and his receivers. Fant cuts to the outside. We find him. Gets us down to the 8 for second and goal. Go a little bit of a hurry up off of it. Stick with that same look. Inside zig here from Smith and Jigba. Do they call that an inside zig? Probably not. But we've got DK. Diving touchdown. Flag is down. Though I feel like this is going to be on the defense or not. They're going to get Lucas? Well, if I'm being honest, it's a little unfair because the defense definitely had some holding downfield. We barely got DK open. Let's see if we could answer back here then. A little bit of a play action roll. We got Fant or DK. It is DK. He's down to the 1. How many times in this episode am I going to mix those up? We will find out. We'll get back to it quickly here. See if we can get a push up front as Walker dives on through the gap. We extend that lead back up by 10. Now, it's not all too often Moreau gets this kind of rushing game, so we're definitely utilizing it. As we get to our next drive, it's actually starting the fourth quarter. It was a long drive from Miami that only got them 3 points, but it makes it a touchdown game. So that means for Moreau, 1, he's got to make some smart decisions, and 2, we got to drain some clock as well. Spread empty here for second and 9. As he steps up in the pocket, he'll tuck it himself, sliding down again, taking that contact. I feel like he's trying to pull like some, I don't know, NBA moves here where you jump into the defender to get that free shot. Free shot? That's not free throw. I know basketball. I watch it occasionally. We do find Tyler Lockett there. We pick up the first down. Keep this thing moving then. A little bit about, wow, that doesn't make much sense at all. A little bit of this play action as we roll, and Moreau will take the hit. He could have thrown it to 2 different receivers, but he chose not to. That one may not help him out much in the locker room, but we get 2 yards. We keep this clock moving. Got 2 to the left-hand side to help try to block for Walker, who trucks through 1 defender, dragged down, though it's a powerful run. Though it does still leave us needing 3 here, as we are under 5 minutes now. Hard count, still not able to get anyone to jump. As Moreau not able to squeeze through the line, it's Emmanuel Ogbah who will get the tackle. 4th and 3, we will have to punt. Will the defense get the stop we need? Once again here, the win is massive for us as we are a game behind the 49ers, who I can't remember if we've lost to or if we beat them this year. Big first down for Miami, Dalvin Cook. Wish there was actually some game audio coming in through this, but either way, really important drive here as we're now under 3 minutes, 2nd and 6. It's a knockaway Murray Jr. All right, 3rd down, and it's dropped by Von McMillan. We are taking over, 3 minutes left. This is really where we need to put the game away. Starting with that play action. Moreau He's going to roll. He picks up a good block. We've got DK downfield as he's going to pick up the first down, give us some more space behind us from our own end zone. Just a lot of space. Already almost up to midfield at the 41. As we'll get one snap off here before the 2-minute warning, though right before the 2-minute warning, as play clock will nearly hit 0 before we snap it. Walker bounces and then gets tackled. There is the warning. Now, looks like they want us to just run it. I don't trust we could get the first down with that. So we're going to have at least a little bit of an RPO here. Give us the option, as we will stick it with Walker. He has a decent cut there, and Moreau dove in there, trying to help push him forward. It's about just a gain of 1, leaving 3rd and 8. 2 timeouts remain for Miami. It's pretty important that we get a first down here as the ball pops out. That looks to set up Miami at the 41. How unfortunate. The ball got popped out from behind. Just got to have better ball protection there. That's entirely on Moreau. Good news is we are at least up a touchdown as they quickly get down goal to go. Sack comes in, Draymond Jones, 2nd and goal, thrown away by Tua. It is 3rd and goal, 8 yards. It will be 4th and game, and the defense bails out Moreau. I'll say he had a pretty good start to the game. Definitely not a strong second half. I feel like he kind of, I don't want to say he didn't put in the effort, right, but he very much started to give things to the running game, which with that first down should do it for us. So we will kneel this one down. A big win at home against Miami. Now, I was definitely way too focused on our game to see if we had any updates from the 49ers, so maybe that helped draw us back. But as we head into the final game, we need our best showing here from Bronson. And we could really use with it being a good game, as this is a essential revenge type game against the Rams to help try to, one, keep them below us in the division, but also try to still pull us back as the 49ers also won in that last week. Now, of course, I don't expect with this defensive front that we're going to have as much success with Walker, but if we can find it, all the better, as he does actually pick us up the first down there. That should help out Moreau, considering pretty much every game that we've had against the Rams, Moreau has been harassed in the backfield, especially by Aaron Donald. Forces a lot of turnovers. We need to keep that essentially gone, as that's a great play. DK does hold on to it. All right, I saw the ball touch the ground, but it was apparently in his possession when it did so. Now, one thing I did heading into this episode, we'll check it at the end this game, but we'll check it at the end of the game as well, is I added a lot more attributes or abilities or whatever they call it here for Moreau. I thought we had all of his, bronze, silver, gold, X factor, whatever the thing again. We'll look at it at the end, but I thought we had all of his attributes put in, but apparently we didn't. As the first sack comes in, it's Boogie Basham. And those abilities might need to be used then with that sack, as they pretty much are just need them to help the accuracies. Not sure why I can't speak. I already went through 2 games. You'd think I would be warmed up. Great first down conversion, though, for Moreau as he finds DK again. They're playing a lot of off coverage, as Moreau will look to tuck and run, picking up that first down, getting down yet again safely. One of the 2 or 3 times he's actually been able to do that in this one. And they're sitting back in coverage. So let's actually go instead with the handoff here. Get Walker going a little bit underneath, as we do get a double slightly to backer. It's actually the corner that comes over to help get the stop in King. That's definitely a good addition, though, for the Rams secondary. Press coverage here. No safety help over the top. So we'll have DK on the streak and a wheel out Walker as well, as DK does get a good step, lofted outside, and that is an early lead, as we also get revenge on Boogie Basham. He's a little bit injured post play, but a great drive from Moreau, great orchestration. We're up 7-0. An even better defense yet again, coming through with a stop here for us. We're starting, though, back deep. We're at our own 9. So we're going to start off a little rushing here. How many times am I going to say start off in that opening of this drive? It's a good game from Walker. Gets us up to the 24. A lot more breathing room then. A little bit of a play action off of it. See if we can make some things happen here. Coming across DK. That accuracy, not what we were looking for. It looked like he tried to put touch on it. Should have been a bullet pass. And I say should have been because I held down the button. Little fourth wall break. 2nd and 10 then. Hard count still waiting to force our first offsides on that. As this time on the move, under pressure, we find Lockett, who tried to put the truck stick on the corner. Didn't work, but he picks up the first. And in the same step as we were talking about keeping Walker a little bit more involved here, we'll go with the toss. 1st and 10, try to get his space, which he doesn't. Is that Reese again? He wrecked the last game. Though he's also one who I still don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Is it Reese, Richie? You tell me. But they bring down the corner to one side. As we've got DK sitting across the middle. That works out well then. Moreau had to roll a little bit to the left, though not too much. And so far, off to a pretty clean start. 5 of 6. RPO dialed up here. They step in. We'll get to the outside then. Smith-Njigba's got to get moving quickly there. If he had a little bit more excel, if we put it in a slightly better spot to catch and run, it's probably a little bit more than a 3-yard gain. So both sides, a little bit to work on with that, the receiving and throwing, that is. Defense played it pretty decently given the original step up. As speaking of step up, we stepped into the rush of Aaron Donald. And I really don't like the fact of who we have playing against him. Gets 1 tackle, he's in his X factor, so we got to watch out for him here. As we go with a quick throw, we kept it short and we find Smith-Njigba. That was a great adjustment from our receiver. And as we saw the last couple games, we didn't quite have that. And we will not have enough time to get a snap off here before the end of the first quarter, but we're driving, already up 7-0, looking to add on some more. And just as the saying goes, I would like some more. 19-yard line. And it's a great rush from, yeah, that's gonna force a penalty. Should have just taken the sack. At least this way we don't risk the fumble, but still not great. 2nd and 21 then. Hard count, still not working. As we loft it up, we'll get back all the lost yardage and a little bit more, down to the 2 as we find Lockett. A nice lofted throw there for Moreau. Keeps it above the linebackers. Got an RPO here if that corner, slot corner steps in. We are firing it. That's exactly what he does, and it is Smith-Njigba with all the room. He gets the block from DK, and we extend our lead here in LA. And yet again, props to the defense. 14-0, they get another stop, and we have an opportunity to try to find a 3-score lead here. As Moreau, he will scramble, sliding down. Yeah, I mean, maybe we need to start actually having some penalties being thrown here, because there is no reason for Jones to step in there late on in the slide. That could lead to, you never know, like an Achilles tear. As DK deep downfield, it is a touchdown toss for Bronson Moreau. We've gotten everyone started early on in this Rams game. One heck of a throw, great blocking up front. A little wobbly, so maybe not a great throw, but accurate one as he beats Marcus Peters. Now that would 100% awaken the Rams offense. 2 straight touchdown drives as we got 1:15 here left before halftime. Now only up a touchdown. See if we can find something big here before half, as I'm still waiting for that screenplay to open up something big. Until then, we'll still call it, just might not call it as much. As Smith-Njigba, good cut. Ball just slightly underthrown. If we placed that one high, that might have been a touchdown. Instead, we're looking at a 3rd and 2 here, 51 seconds left. Hard count, still can't get anyone to jump. Moreau will just go ahead and pick up the first down here himself, diving forward. We'll call a timeout up at the 44. A dive, definitely not what we're looking for. A little bit worrisome, but works out this time. As now we still do find Lockett. I was going to say we still don't find Lockett, but apparently it was a heck of a throw there from Bronson, who gets back to the line quickly here. We do have 2 timeouts, about 20 seconds. As we roll, there we go. Smith-Njigba down to the 7 and out of bounds. Maybe keep that a little bit tighter, it's a touchdown, but still it's a big play here. Just gotta make sure we finish off this first half on the right foot, as Moreau will, with both feet, he scampers to the end zone. We re-widen this thing back to 2-score, finishing off a really good first half across the board. Defense maybe tune it back up a little bit as we started. And they would listen. The defense gets a quick stop to open that second half. 28-14 as we start with a run, just getting that block in time. Walker cuts hard and will get close to, but not picking up the first down. Instead, it's about a gain of 9.5 or so, giving us an opportunity at an RPO. Now we got two different options on where we could go here. Rookie over to the right-hand side, as we will swing it that way. We don't get the block, but we do get the first. And now on 2 of 3 throws to Lane, he's made the play. Good to see for a rookie. Try to get him developing a little bit then. As everyone covered here, this time we roll and we throw out, but we are just outside the tackle box. Perhaps Moreau learning a little bit here then. 2nd and 10. Hard count, still waiting. Eventually we will get that. Fant bursts by the defender, gonna pick up a first down as he gets by a couple more defenders up to, actually well across midfield, down to the 35. Don't know why, but his speed always surprises me, and he might find himself deep downfield here yet again. See how the coverage fits. As we throw it to the outside, we find Fant back-to-back plays, though a little bit shaken up following his second catch for the drive. That's definitely a big miss. Gonna force a little bit more of Disley and the rookie in Ellison. Maybe a little bit more from the fullbacks as well. As we go Walker, big gap filled by the defense. So on 2nd and 9, we'll change up the look then. 2 receivers go to the left, Lockett to the right. Levels concept as we flood the right side of the field. And thrown behind, we find DK. Good thing again the linebacker didn't crash harder on that one. Probably should have went to the even more trailing receiver. Could have been a touchdown or a first down at least. Not the case though. 3rd and 3 is. Hard count. They're covering up everyone. We go Walker, and this time the linebacker will break it up in Richie, whatever your name is. Field goal to widen the lead still. But this time, 4th and 3. All right, we go for it then. I like the call. A little bit of some aggressiveness here against our rival as it's thrown to the safety. Not how we were looking to end that drive. I would have taken the field goal. Keep that a little bit more to the right-hand side. Maybe we find Lockett. And honestly, what's a game here from Bronson Moreau without at least a turnover? It is one that leads to a touchdown for the Rams, so back to a 1-score game as Walker this time picks up the first down. 9 rushes, 43 yards. We might see him a good little bit more here in the 4th quarter. Need to make sure we drain some clock, add on some points, and walk home victorious. Or, considering we are still down in LA, maybe fly home victorious. We'll walk to the locker room. As we open up the 4th quarter, back to Walker. He will pick up 2. That leaves him averaging 4.5 yards per carry, and it's what I expect from him. I know the offensive line is not that great, but still I expect a lot. As we roll, you know what? We'll just use no block from Walker. We still pick up the first down, though. Moreau averaging 10 yards a rush. So maybe instead of a rotation of running backs, we have just a rotation of who's running the ball. As Moreau hands it off this time, Walker cuts in. Should have cut out. No gain. Definitely not the time for us to start limiting the yards we're getting each play. We definitely need to make sure we continue marching as Aaron Donald picks up a 2nd sack. So not only did the march stop, but we actually went backwards. 3rd and 14. Hard count, still no one moves. Got trips set to the right-hand side. Smith and Jigba, he did his part. Moreau did not do his. Said good pass, it definitely was not. It's a punt away in a crunch time. And Moreau has got to go buy his defense some steak dinners. Another key stop as we get back out on offense. Still up a touchdown, sitting around midfield lane. Nice play, 9.5 yards. But we're going to get right back to a similar game plan to what we had on that last one. Actually, the same play here. We're going to go with some RPOs. Give us some options here to toss it out as Lane, actually not Lane, Smith and Jigba takes this one. It's a slow turn around the corner, but it gets us down inside the red zone. And I feel like we're just going to be bouncing back and forth between that one, switching the sides, because I want the read options, as we'll actually keep this one Walker. They bailed to the outside just after the snap, so I like that read. Technically, the corners stepped in, so you could argue read either way. Probably would have been good for us either way. 2nd and 3, we'll go with a true just handoff. Walker will get it done, and we'll throw in a little block there as well at the end. And as we come through the 2-minute warning, we've got a 1st and goal, and they are stacking the box here. I'm definitely just going to hand this one off. Walker with a lead block, diving, just breaking the goal line. Almost a beautiful play there from the defender. Instead, it's back to a 2-score lead. Back over the defense to seal it. And indeed they would. We end up kneeling out the clock, 35-21. We get our revenge against the Rams. Overall, a pretty good game there for Moreau. Couple mistakes here and there, but we're going to have that every game. But it's 2 big back-to-back wins, 1 in division. And with the Niners coming off of a loss, that puts us essentially, not exactly essentially, but we're level on record, though they definitely have won at least 1 game against us. I'll have to check. We've went through so many games. I couldn't tell you what all of them have gone down to, but we at least lost 1 to the 49ers this year, which is why we are not in first. But that puts us at a really good spot just by the midpoint of the season. But as for the things I was struggling to say in the opening part of the Rams game, it is the core abilities that we have put in here. And it looks like, honestly, we could even put in more with the showdown, but we don't play showdown. But here's what we have. So we have short, medium, and deep Deadeye, which is going to just help with the passing. It's going to make everything no worse than slightly inaccurate when we have our feet set. Now, obviously, we don't have our feet set that often. We are rolling around a lot. Hopefully that's still going to help us out. Just continue to fine tune some of the accuracy here of Moreau. On top of that, we've also been working on the upgrades as we now have the throw on the run up to an 81. We're going to slowly start getting the throw on the run and throw under pressure closer to the accuracy ratings, which typically also receive a boost going into these games, same as the throw power. So right now, Bronson Moreau is well on his way, and he's up to an 81. Now, I don't know if it is just pure coincidence, but I feel like the offensive line played better in this episode. With the 2 first games being in All Madden and then that last game in All Pro still with Aaron Donald, blocking seemed smoother. Maybe it did finally come down to changing that number from 12 to 10 and giving the number back to the Seahawks and honoring that tradition. So purely my fault, Seahawks fans, I apologize. Definitely went over my head, but yeah, we've got that number fixed. Bronson Moreau coming off a really good episode. He's got his team ready to compete for the number 1 spot in the NFC West, of which we have that 2nd game against the 49ers next episode. So do not miss it. Hit the bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Plus we have the state's only challenge every Tuesday and Thursday. Big episode coming up tomorrow, as that one will essentially extend or end the Marylavania States Only Challenge. So big episodes this week. Do not miss it, as Bronson Moreau looked really good rocking that 10.